The purpose of this PowerPoint presentation is to show you how to install Visual Basic on your computer. Okay, the first step obviously is to go to the Microsoft website and download Visual Studio Community Edition. You'll find that I use the term Visual Studio and Visual Basic somewhat interchangeably. It's a little bit inaccurate. Visual Basic is part of Visual Studio, and as you're going to see, there's a lot of other parts. So when you go to the website, you will see a screen, and of course all you really need to do is click on Download Community 2015. Once you download the software, of course you need to install it. Now every browser does this a little bit differently, and I assume that you people have downloaded and installed programs before, but you know, in Chrome there's a little tab in the lower left hand corner. In Internet Explorer a menu comes up, and in Firefox you have to click on the download button. But in any case, go ahead and select the download and install the software. Okay, now you'll see the install screen, and what you're going to want to do is click install. Now you notice that mine says uninstall because I already have Visual Studio on my computer. Yours should say install. Click it. Okay, now you'll see the setup screen, and all you need to do is click on either of these links to install. It doesn't really matter which one, but do not install the language pack. All you want to do is install Visual Studio Community 2013. You might have to be a little patient here depending on the speed of your computer. This may take a little while, but it will install hopefully. Okay, this is the opening screen for a new project or to work on an existing project. Of course, right now we're going to start with our first project, so it's going to be a new project. Notice this is the same menu from which you will open projects that you are working on or have worked on in the past, and that would be Open Project right beneath that. Okay, now what you're going to see is the New Projects dialog screen, and this will help you determine what kind of project you're going to develop. Notice that Visual Basic is merely one of the choices here. There are other languages, C#, C++, Java, F#, Visual F#. So in this class, of course, we are going to strictly be working in Visual Basic, so make sure that that is selected. Also notice that within Visual Basic there are many different kinds of applications. For this particular project and for almost all of the projects in this class, we will be using a Windows Form application, so make sure that that's selected. Also notice that Visual Basic gives the program a default name. You do not want to use that default name. You want to use a name that describes the program. Okay, I put here my first program. You can put whatever you want. After you've made those three selections, the language, the type, and the name, click on OK. Okay, you're looking at the opening screen for a new project, and I notice there are several components in the screen, and I want to explain them very briefly because they're not going to mean a whole lot to you right now. Okay, first of all, there's the form. Think of the word form as the same as being a window, as in Microsoft Window. The form will contain all of the parts of the project, all of the buttons, text boxes, check boxes, and all of the things that you see in Windows programs, including menus, will appear in this form. The Solution Explorer in the upper right-hand corner contains all of the components of the program. Notice that form1.vb is one of the parts of the project. That's that form we just looked at. There are other parts that are created and maintained by VB that you don't really need to worry about, except when our programs get a little bit more complicated, we may use this to navigate around to different parts of the program. In the lower right-hand corner is the Properties window. Every object that is placed in the form, and the form itself for that matter, have properties. Again, we don't really know what that is, so I'm not going to go into a great explanation here. But once you put buttons or checkboxes or whatever into the form window, you then have to set properties, and all properties are set by merely pointing and clicking. The other component that we need is a toolbox. We will be building projects, and in order to build things, you need tools. So we want to have our toolbox visible on the interface, just like the properties window and the form. So in order to do that, you can go to the View menu and select Toolbox, and that will make it visible. And you can also note that there's a shortcut, Control-Alt-X. This will show the toolbox. Okay, once you do this, the toolbox is available and you'll see it on the side menu. And what you want to do is you want to click on that tab. Okay, now you'll see that the toolbox is on the interface, and notice the different tools that we have, buttons, checkboxes. These are all the components that one expects to find in a Windows program, and to add them to a program, you just select them from this toolbox. You take a tool out of your toolbox. Now, we'd like that toolbox to always be there when we start a program. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin it to the interface, and there's a little thumbtack icon. Just click that, and then from now on, when you open a project, the toolbox will always be there. If not, you go through the steps that we just went through and make it appear there. So from now on, when you start a program, this is what the interface is going to look like. The toolbox will be there and available for use. So now we're ready to go. We're ready to program, and that'll be in our next PowerPoint, how to write your first program. If you've had any problems installing and running your first VB program, please let me know. This is something that needs to be done the first week of class so that we're ready to go and begin our programming experience. Thank you.